All right, and we are live. Gonna get started in a couple minutes here. And it's good to be back, y'all. We're gonna see how far we can get with this today. So as always, I hope you're well. I'm gonna pull this up on my phone just to make sure the audio is working correctly. And Twitch has been a little bit wonky over the past couple days, I think. When I was on, I went over to 5 Star's stream a couple days ago, and I was trying to comment, and I couldn't, when I first got there, it wouldn't let me comment, and then it was saying I wasn't a follower, and then Optic was also saying he was having some problems with the old Twitch there. So I hope it's all fixed. I can't see my own stream right now on my phone. Ah, there we go. Okay, I think we're good. Let's give it a couple more minutes. But yeah, this is Mandelbulb Monday number 3. I think we're going to end up being out of order with the other ones because now there's going to be more Mandelbulb Mondays than Procreate Wednesdays because after 2 weeks ago Monday, I stopped for a couple weeks. And I'm feeling much better than I was. I have ways to mitigate the pain now. I saw a specialist this morning. And I'm working through it, y'all. Soon this pain will be behind me, and I'll be ready to get back to being totally normal again. Well, as normal as I am. So tell you what, we're going to hop over to Mandelbulb window. And here we go. How's everybody doing? Good to see you again. And I guess I'll just wait another minute here, see if anyone shows up. I know M said she might be here, but she's going to be doing a hardcore lurk. And, M! Thank you, M, for the 2 months. Hell yeah. Hey, yo. Let's fucking go. It's Mandelbulb Monday number 3. And how are you today, M? You forgot your headphones. Oh, no. Earbuds. What kind of phone do you have? Do you use the Apple earbuds? Do you have an iPhone? I think you must. Hey, Sess, what's going on, my brother? Welcome to the stream. Mandelbulb Monday number 3. We're going to see how far we can get today. It feels good to be back. I feel a lot better than I was. I'm staying high a lot to mitigate my pain. And I'm using ice. AirPods, okay. You're at work, okay. Cool, so let's hop into it then. Hope you're having a good day at work, Sess. And also, M, hope you're having a good day at work. I hope you're not going too crazy. I know you said one of your coworkers is leaving or something, so you have double the work now. But let's hop into it. Let's see what we can do with Mandelbulb today. Everybody grab your water, grab your coffee, whatever you got. And we're going to mix some fractals. But yo, I'm super hype. I found my old Talkboy tape recorder. I don't know if any of y'all are as old as me in your mid-30s. You remember the Talkboy from Home Alone 2 with our good friend Macaulay Culkin. And I found my old Talkboy. I just have to decorrode the battery terminals and it should work. Okay, so let's see about, first of all, I'm going to switch over to a different color here. Let's go with this for now. And let's go change our formula right away. We'll see what we can get out of these, let's try a different formula today. I don't think we've done this one yet. This one's called F432. Let me just adjust these windows really quick. You know, trying to get this all nice here. Okay, so as always, we got our main window, we got our lighting window, we got our formula window. And later on we can get into the post process, which the shadows and all that. And of course we got our navigator window, which is the sort of video game aspect where you can fly around in a way. And let me mess around with the background really quick here. Actually, did I save that? Yes, I did. I saved that. So now we can go to our black background really quick. And let's hop on right over to the navigator and see what we can get out of this formula. We'll grab the parameter and the formula and the light. And, okay, so this formula has no settings we can mess with. So maybe we'll go to, you know what, let's try the mutagen again. I like the mutagen. We'll turn these down a bunch so we're not messing up our formula too much, but we do want to get some nice variety out of it, so we'll see what we get. Whoa. Oh, this one looks like a satellite dish. Let's do it. Try it again. And let's actually turn this up a little bit. The probability of exchange, add, and remove formulas. That way we'll get some other formulas being mixed in with it. And maybe... let's actually send this one to the main. We'll see what that looks like real quick. I like this kind of donut shape it's got going on. Looks like we got a bunch of donuts here. And maybe we'll just play around with these parameters. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It is like a bunch of donuts. It's like donuts within donuts. So let's go back to the navigator. And we'll grab that parameter, formula, and light. And let's just mess around with some of the parameters and see what we get. And actually, let's start our chain of animation keyframes. So we have something to refer back to. So there's our first keyframe. We're going to save it. And this is going to be... you know what? Is this episode... are we in episode 3 or episode 4? I don't know. I'm just going to call it 4 for now. I'll figure it out later. So this is going to be M0004 V1.1. And we'll close that out for a minute. And let's save... actually, we don't even have to save that. Go back to the navigator. Let me just get this window centered a little bit. Okay, now let's mess with these parameters a little bit, see what we get. We got our scale. I'm gonna leave that as is. And I got X offset. Ooh, this is nice. This would be great for animations. You can start off at almost nothing. And then slowly bring it in like it appears out of nothingness and just expands. So let's do that. Let's start with that, and maybe we'll roll a little bit. And let's open up the extra settings here. So looking and rolling. Thank you for the host. Right on. Appreciate you. So let's start somewhere about there. We'll keyframe that. Actually, before we do that, we'll go to the animation, make sure we're on the right keyframe, on a blank spot. So we're good. We'll go back to the navigator, keyframe that. And now let's do some of this. X offset. And thank you for the bits. You're the best. So now we got some more donut action going on here. What we'll do is we'll kind of zoom around it a little bit. And turn. And maybe we'll go to the other formulas. Hey, Sess, thanks for the bits, man. Cool, I'm glad my different animations are working there. Thank you both. I love both of you. I appreciate you. And thank you for joining me today. It's good to have some people to hang out with while I'm working on this. Let's see what these axioms do. So this is on formula number 2 now, which is mag vs xyz abs 2, which probably means nothing to us, but that's what it's called if you're following along at home, playing the home game of Mandelbulb, which I would highly encourage because it's a free program. Actually reset those. This little reset button is really handy. Oh, this is kind of cool. Changing the power kind of, ooh, like, yeah. Makes it really wonky. Now let's spin around some more, and we'll move again, and then we'll take another keyframe. Save, definitely save. I need to add a counter to that save thing. Okay, so let's animation keyframe that. And then, yes, now we'll go to our animations, and we have these couple different frames here. And we will save our animation again. And we'll just overwrite the one we had there. This way we'll have a log of all of our different keyframes. And we'll go back to the nav. Let's see what else we can do. See what's in formula 3 here. It only put in 2 formulas. And we can only change... Okay, it won't let us change this inside the navigator, so we'll just stick with formula 2 now, for now. Oh, wait a second, there it is, okay. Let's see what else we got here. We got cosine shift and CXM. Ooh, cosine shift does a lot. Kind of it's almost like rotating the whole thing at a bunch of different points. Let's see what CXM is. Not making too much of a difference there. Have you ever heard of Lyran board? There's all types of commands and responses. Optic, thanks for the resub, buddy. Appreciate you. I love you. Love everyone. And hope you're doing well, man. How are you today? And it's good to be back. I must say, it's good to be back. 2-month gang. So welcome, Optic. We're hanging out, doing some Mandelbulbing again on Mandelbulb Monday. And so, no, Sess, I haven't heard of this Lyran board. That sounds interesting. So you can do commands with... like people can do commands and it makes responses inside of Twitch. Oh, and you say you're finishing up that song with Optic this weekend. Awesome, you guys. That's fucking great. I want to hear. And I'm interested to see what Optic has done with the bounce I sent to him for our collab. And Optic says, I just found out I made Liquid Stranger Spotify playlists. Let's fucking go, dude. Yeah, man. Holy shit. Let's fucking go. How'd you find out about that? Did someone hear your tune on there and they were like, yo, check it out. That's amazing. Happy for you, brother. Let's take a look at some more of these parameters here. Okay, so those, the CZM, CXM, and CYM don't seem to do much. So we got cosine shift, axiom, stuff like that. Let's see about, maybe we'll zoom out a little more here. forgot about the keyboard commands. You can rotate with the keyboard as well. So let's animation keyframe that. I'm not like super crazy about this shape, but this might be a really cool animation. So let's go over there and we'll save again. We'll overwrite that one. And let's do a quick render preview of this. We'll see what kind of animation we get. Let's get that hydration check. Let's get that stretch check. First stretch check of the day. And just bear with me, y'all, if I have to run and grab some more ice real quick. I will just leave you with the fire, the crackles that we all love. What are you doing, Optic? Are you at work right now, too? Taking those calls from all the people? Doing your salesman thing? Or are you making secret underground lab sounds? Let's do some quick shout-outs here. And oh, by the way, M is affiliated now, so go subscribe to M's channel, please. Optics working, and Cess is lurking. Okay, cool. So we got a couple lurkers and a worker. Well, everyone's working, but... So we're all working and lurking. I'm even lurking right now. I fucking lurk on my own stream. Oh, it's IT. Okay, gotcha. I like that command. It kind of doesn't really let you know, like, you have to kind of click over to your channel if someone doesn't know about you to find out what you do. They're like, what the fuck? Abuelo? What's going on with this? It says you do sales too. Okay. Okay, so let's look at our animation here. Now we got this donut thing. That's pretty cool. Let's go back to the navigator. And actually, let's zoom out a bit more. Actually, let's zoom in. Let's see if we can find a sort of landscape like we usually do. Assuming that this is some sort of planet, and we're gonna try and find a spot to land on it. But maybe, let's see. Maybe we need to make it more... We need to kind of get closer up to it. If we change the iterations, that'll give us more land. Yeah, okay. Oh, wow, look at this. Okay, I like this already. Now we're also kind of cutting into it. Hey, Big Sis. I've been taking a break, glad to see you back. It's great to be back. I feel so much better, and I have, I'm staying high on this indica, and it's really nice, and I've got ice, and I don't know, it just feels good to be doing something again. I was kind of just laying around for a couple weeks. I was doing stuff in the background because it's hard for me to just kind of sit there. But, yeah, it's very good to be back. So welcome, Sis. And I think we have a sys command now. Yeah. So anyone who's not familiar with Big Sis, go check him out. Sis, thank you for the bits. And yeah, Sis, I want to know the story behind your producer name. What's the deal? Because when I first got on, oh, J-Hunt, yeah, welcome, dude. Good to see you here. We're doing Mandelbulb Monday. I can't remember which episode number we're on now, but we're looking at making some weird fractals today. See, now we've gotten somewhere like deep inside the fractal where we can't really... We're kind of like stuck now. Let's see if we can fly our way out of this. We can definitely zoom. We can look. Let's see if we just look up this way. Looks like we're in a fractal crater. So yeah, this is Mandelbulb 3D. And this is the one it's a free program. And I believe it'll only work on PC. But you can get it, if you can run some sort of Windows emulation on Mac, you can run it, which I have done before, but it's kind of a pain to set up. But yeah, if you have a PC, go get this. It's free. It seems a little bit intimidating at first, but it's really not. You only need to know a couple different things and how to mess with parameters, really. It just says, mostly named after my big sister, who I'm really close with. I went through a few names and always got like, oh no, it doesn't feel right. Big sister never started to feel that way, so it stayed. Plus, I think it's easy to remember and feel strong and self-sufficient. Yeah, I feel that, for sure. And Jahan says, are you going to go over how to make the fractals move or to use a different software to make the animations? Okay, so there's two parts to it. So actually, let's go back in, since you just got here, let's go into the animation thing right here. And what you do is, when you're flying around in this, in the navigator window, so let's do a basic rundown. This is your main window, and you have your different, you got your formulas and your lighting tab, and there's more stuff here you can go into, like post-processing, which is shadows. And then you got the navigator window, which is where you like fly around, and you can look at different parts of your fractal. And basically, they're all generated by these parameters that are in the formulas. So right now, we're kind of looking at this thing. It doesn't really look like much, but it's a place to start. So the way to do animations is you go here and you hit animation keyframe. And before we do that, let's make sure we're in a blank slot. So this is the animation window. We're in a blank slot. We've made a couple already here. So now we can close that. And if we go back to the navigator and hit animation keyframe, that'll give us another frame there. And then what you do is you can basically, this will render out all the individual frames that you need for your animation, but it won't actually turn it into an MP4 or whatever video you want. You have to bring it into, I use Premiere to just string all the frames together, and then that's how you make your animation basically. So this will give you all the individual frames. So like, just right now, let's do a quick preview again since you just got here. And you do a preview, and it'll show you what it'll look like in this small, low-res version. And these can take a while to render out. Optic says, just sent you the collab. Okay, great, yes. It's getting a bit noisy, so let me know if I need to tame it all. Okay. Cool, I think this is a great idea that we have to just send the master bounce back and forth. We're going to end up with something that's so completely far gone from the original version, and we'll have like a whole playlist. Like, we should release a record of all the different versions of it, or at least a playlist or something. So yeah, this is our animation, what it's going to look like. It's going through and doing all the frames right now, and it's only rendering every other frame, and we're downscaling it a bit to make it go faster. You can tell right now everything's kind of slow. It's not, I don't think we're dropping frames, but it just looks really laggy. But yeah, this is great. So you can see what your animation will look like before you spend possibly a week or more, or even longer than that, rendering out all these frames. This way you just get an idea of what it's going to be like. And to tell you the truth, there's a lot of times when I've actually kind of downscaled it and made it look really pixely on purpose, which looks cool, and you can render it faster, and you also get a nice effect. And I think we may have changed one of the parameters that'll make this one kind of jump, which might not be the best, but we'll see what happens. Let's take a quick little smoke break. Pretty nice. Tomas with the sub. Thank you, brother. With the resub. Hell yeah. Welcome to the show. Yeah, man, I like that thing you had going on earlier on your stream that you're testing out. That it's sort of like a step sequencer. That's fucking cool. If you guys didn't see before, Toe is testing out a step sequencer type music thing where you can go, when you're looking at his stream, you can click on it on different steps in the sequence, and as the playhead moves, it'll play different notes. And I'm really curious to see what else can be done with that. Like, can you put drums in there? Can you put any kind of sound you want? The new hotness. And is that a Streamlabs extension thing? Yeah, here's our animation, what it'll look like. It starts as these kind of donut type deals, and it becomes all this weird shit. That's pretty cool. We're gonna go and save that. Another good thing about the animations is you can you have a lot of control over what you render out. So like let's say you only wanted to do between this frame and that frame, you could tell it where to start and where to finish and all that kind of stuff. And you can change a lot of the parameters of how all this stuff. Smooth normals, which if you turn that up, it'll smooth things out a bunch. It won't have as many black pixels and things like that, and noise. And there's a bunch of stuff here. Okay, let's go back into the new this interactive as fuck chat can make art. Right now, just melodies. Okay. New extension, heat. Okay. Interesting. I would like to look into that as well and see what we can do. Because like right now we got a couple things. We got some Animoog sound alerts. Those are actually still up. I have the sample pack from Animoog still up on my, in the sub part of the Discord. I was going to take it down, but I was like, But yeah, that's still up, so these are example sounds from that sample pack, so you can go grab it if you haven't yet. I'm going to leave that up for another week or two, and then I'll try to just keep one up there at a time. So let's mess around with this some more. Let's actually take this and send it to the main. First, let's keyframe it. Animations, blank spot, navigator, animation keyframe. So we got that saved. And let's send it to the main window. Now we can go out here and calculate 3D. And that'll give us what we just saw in the navigator in a higher res version. Let's do that hydration check. This one's for M. How you doing, M? So now you can start to see how these fractals sort of, you can get these different kind of clusters and oh, this is pretty cool. Let's go back into, you know what, let's actually save this as a M3I. And this is going to be M04 1.1. So right now we're kind of like inside this fractal. And maybe that's where we need to be, though. I was kind of hoping to do more of a landscape type thing, because those are really fun. But maybe we're inside of this fractal. Let's see where we can look and see. Maybe we can find our way out of it. This is kind of the crapshoot part, because sometimes it'll get stuck. And it's so fractal that you can't zoom out because it's just the same thing forever. Actually, I think we might be... Let's see if we can zoom out. Trying to remember what these controls are. So zoom, it's sliding. Okay, walking. So W and S is walking. Oh, okay. So now we're gonna lose it. I kind of like this composition though. Let's keyframe that. Maybe we'll play around with these some more. This is weird, like in this case, making the scale less kind of zooms it in more. So, okay, this is nice. Let's See if we can rotate this around. Hey, Javare, welcome to the stream. A new sci-fi story, suck inside the fractal void, floating recursively forever. Yes, that's exactly where we're at, I think. Yeah, welcome to Mandelbulb Monday, episode 4, I think. And, yeah. How are you today, Javare? It's good to see you. Oh, we lost it. Let's see if we can get it back. There it is. You know what? Let's go back to the mutagen. Let's view this to the main. We'll calculate it out. And then we'll try some mutations of this. Like, this is really cool. I like that. Let's calculate what we just had there. Doing good. Good to hear. I'm also doing well. I'm glad to be back. I've missed streaming so much. I missed all of you wonderful people and making fractals with you and making music with you and doing Procreate things. Okay, so we got this. Let's save this again. Save M3I. We're going to do a... just for the heck of it. You know, we'll overwrite because we have the animation to go back to later if we want to pull those frames out. So let's go back into the mutagen and maybe we'll adjust some of these parameters a bit. Let's see what we get. Again, this is very random. Let's increase the probability a bit more so we get some more variation. Okay, let's turn this way up. Oh, we're not really getting that crazy variation. Oh wait, maybe this one. I kind of like this. Oh, this one too. Bunch of nice ones here. Okay, so I'm thinking I really like this one here. Let's calculate that. The sequel to Flatland, Frackland. You know what? I'm not familiar with Flatland. I've heard things about it in passing, but I'm not sure really what it is. Yes, so actually, if you go to the, I think Nightbot just dropped it, yes, so if you look at this, this link here, it's my Wix shop. So check this out. I haven't actually gotten any samples from them yet, but I'm waiting for a couple sample prints. But if you want to, you can still buy some right now. And what they do is they print everything. Like you go and order something, they print it and they ship it. So I don't have to do any of that, which is really nice. Because I used to make all my own prints at home on an Epson printer, and they came out really good. And I was happy doing it, but like I just don't want to do that anymore. And like so, the drop shipping thing is great. Optic says Flatland is a trip. And Javari says, I read it in high school. You should check it out sometime. Yeah, that sounds awesome. What I picture when I hear that is something like, you ever see that Treehouse of Horror Simpsons episode where Homer's in the 3D world? And he's like, oh, it looks like Tron or some shit like that? That's kind of what I think about when I think about Flatland. But it's probably totally wrong. So I have an Epson. Actually, I still have like 2 of them. I had 3 of them at one point. It's an Epson Artisan 1430. What do you got here for us, Optic? Okay. Oh, check this out. I like what happened with this fractal here. So let's go into the navigator. We'll grab these parameter formula and whatnot. And we'll save this keyframe, and then we'll save the animation again. Hey, Coffee Tablies, welcome to the stream. Today is Mandelbulb Monday. We're making fractals, and I hope you're well. Saw you earlier on, where were you earlier? On some stream somewhere on Twitch. So let's go to animations. And we're going to save the animation keyframe from the navigator. So now we have that. Now, so when we make an animation of this, it's going to be kind of wonky because it'll jump from this one to this one in a not smooth way, but that can be kind of cool too. And also we can even save a bunch of things in here and then bounce out separate animations from like one that'll go up to here and then one that'll start there. I got a bunch of stuff. This one looks like teeth. Javaris says, I have an Epson R2400 gathering dust. Spent a lot of money on it and found out it's more expensive to maintain than just paying for prints. That can be true too. But also, did you use some of those refillable cartridges? And then you could buy bulk ink. That's what I used to do. On some stream somewhere. Sounds like me, yes. Twitch has really been the thing during quarantine. Okay, so let's go back. Oh, let's actually save this. Just overwrite that one. Close out that, and let's go back into the navigator, and let's see if we can fly around and find some more interesting things on this. Let's get that hydration check. Damn, this weed is kind of knocking me out right now. Okay, so let's look. I kind of just flew out of this canyon here. And we're definitely still like just stuck inside this fractal. Let's try this. Maybe we change the far plane. We're at 115. That could be interesting. Let's see if we zoom into some of these areas. Javari says, I was meant to convert it to extend black external tanks. To extended black external. Yeah, that's the one, the kind of one I had, where it had these tubes that go in from this big cartridge holder. That's the only reason I kept it around. I still may do it someday. Yes, coffee tablies. I'm on that indica right now for pain. And the J Hunt says 3 questions. Did you already go from scratch, or is this a new project? So yeah, this is I started from scratch, but like basically scratch means that they give you have to start with some formula in here. So the default formula is this one called integer power. So you start off with that. That's like that was the very first Mandelbulb that was ever made in 3D. And then you say, how do you add color? Okay, so color basically, I'll show you. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so if we leave here, leave the animation for a minute, or the navigator, we go here. The color, you basically start with a general color down here, like a preset, or you can just start from scratch. Right now, this is kind of a default. It's this 5th option over here, and I just made the background black. But you can do, like, let's say we want to do color, you can kind of start with something like this. It gets really crazy sometimes, but like even something like that is nice. And then once you have all your color options here, which I will go into once we get a little bit further. But right now, so now I'm going to go back here. I'm going to open the black background again. I tend to go with the black backgrounds because they look like space kind of things, but we'll see where we can go. And then you say, Any other programs besides Premiere to do the final animations? So I don't know. Honestly, Premiere is the only one I've ever used for doing video editing, and I barely even have used it for that. I've only done a couple projects on it. So, sorry, I just came back from the store. I was listening, but now I'm home and I'm going to listen on my big TV. Okay, great. You're going to be able to go back and watch this. Yes, definitely. Yeah, coffee table is for pain. I had surgery 3.5 months ago, and I'm still experiencing some lingering pain from that, which is not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a quicker heal up than that. But here I am. I'm doing the best I can. I saw a specialist about it this morning. And okay, so let's go. Let's go back into the navigator. Did I get all your questions? 3 questions. Okay, good. You say for editing, DaVinci Resolve also works really well. Okay. No monthly fee. That could be something I might want to switch to. I'm kind of sick of Adobe, honestly, with the monthly fee. It kind of bothers me. I just want to own the program. Let's get that coffee check, y'all. Okay, so let's fly around some more here and see what else we can do. Oh, we lost it. So let's zoom back. Hopefully we'll get it back. Starts to come back in a little bit. I don't know, this fractal is not my favorite one that we've done so far, but it's all right, but I'm not finding a lot of great stuff in it. I think we might start from scratch again. Actually, hold on. I actually just saw something I liked in there. It can be really sometimes a challenge to find something interesting. Maybe something like that, and then if we bring in more of it there and kind of get a mountain range sort of kind of feeling going on. Let's look this way, maybe. Maybe we'll look down some more. I have nothing under there. So let's go. A little bit back this way. Try to find a nice composition. And again, this is kind of a rough thing. Yeah, owning things is awesome. I definitely hate that this subscription kind of like program things. It's how they really get you. And then it's like, all right, do I have to fucking... I better use this thing because I'm paying for it, but then you don't necessarily need it. It's the microtransaction of productivity software. You see, DaVinci has a free version that works for just about everyone that isn't working in Hollywood. Okay. You say next purchase for me is gonna the Denon Prime Go. It does some weird things when doing graphic overlays because they have nodes instead of layers. Okay, I'm not very familiar with like node-based workflow. A lot of people tell me that's an awesome thing I should learn. Where like Touch Designer is node-based, or like Max for Live programming is node-based. The editing part is about as good as Premiere. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at this. Maybe we'll change some of these parameters. Hey, look at that. That's pretty funky. 3. Wow, look at that. So we're getting all these like star-shaped kind of deals. Let's animation keyframe that. That's pretty fucking cool. Make sure we're on a blank slot. Animations. No, navigator, animation keyframe. And we're going to save that again. Yeah. Nodes can be great, but when I have to do a nested graphic animation, it's not so fun. This says that was dope. Thank you, thank you. Those are the what you so amusingly referred to as kidney stones. Like, look at all these kidney stones. And it's so funny. This like these like really look like a fucking kidney stone. It's tiny, but I can literally DJ anywhere. Then I'll purchase software to edit. Cool. Eventually, mostly excels at color correction and compositing. A lot of movie studios use it for that. Very nice. I'm not even familiar with doing that stuff. Like color correction, yeah, for sure, but not compositing. They do look like kidney stones, right? So I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but how much space are these projects when rendered out? Well, it depends on how big. Let's see. Do I have one here I could show? So I have one here that's an MP4. It's a minute and 40 seconds long, and it's 246 megabytes. And again, like, you can render these at different sizes. I've been rendering everything at 1920 by 1080 because that's what my my Resolume output is. So it just works. And like, I mean, you can go higher, but for Twitch, like, you don't need to go higher than 1080. It's not going to look any better if you go 4K. So yeah, like, yeah, this one is 246 megabytes at a minute 40, which is not bad at 1920 by 1080. Once you start getting into 4K videos, they get to be big, though. So, okay, I did a keyframe of this, right? Let me, yes, okay, so we have a keyframe. Just bear with me, I'm a little bit high. So, okay, navigator, so we're here. So let's see if we can rotate around a little bit. Maybe find a nice composition. And then we're going to start looking at doing some lighting. Maybe something like that, but kind of... I'm going to look this way a little more. I'm going to look up a little bit. Maybe just time to start over on a new one. I'm not like really feeling a lot of these like different. Some of these the kidney stones in this one look nice, but I'm not getting like that good like landscape feel that I like. You know what? Maybe let's try this. Send this to the main, and we'll try to bring it into something usable by using lighting and. Let's try the. Okay, let's do that. Bring the far plane up a bunch. And that'll give us more of that background. But we won't go... Maybe not quite that much. Let's try that. Let's send that to the main. Let's get that hydration check. Hope everyone's well today. Okay, nice. So yeah, we got our kidney stones, and then back here, there are these other kind of shapes that are more spherical. I like that, but I want to adjust the composition just a little bit, maybe. What if we go, what if we zoom or rotate this way? Maybe the far plane, play with that a little bit. Maybe that is good. I kind of like that. This whole thing back here has a nice kind of symmetry to it. Maybe I'm being too picky about this one. See, once you start getting up into this area, everything gets really stretched. And really inside. These are nice. Now we're getting some of those kidney stones, but bigger versions of them up here. Or at least we're closer to them, maybe. And then we kind of end up back at the... Oh, wow, yeah, okay. I like that. This is cool. And then we'll do something with this little space right here. Maybe if we, about 27 on that, or 20, 25. Oh yeah, I like that. Let's keyframe that. And we'll view to the main. And we'll quickly go and save this animation again. Because you know, Mandelbulb does like to crash sometimes. So I highly suggest saving your work regularly. Okay, so let's calculate out what we had in the navigator. So yeah, y'all, I found my, let me show you. I've taken this apart really quick I took the screws out so I could, I had to pull the battery terminals out to fix it because they're corroded, but this is my old Talkboy. And if you all have ever seen that movie Home Alone 2 with Macaulay Culkin, this is the tape recorder that he used in the movie to fucking foil the bad guys. And I used to use the shit out of this when I was little. So this is from like the early 90s, and now I want to fix it up and like get it working and record some samples onto tape and then bounce those out into Ableton and use them for stuff. I thought this would be like, I was like, oh, I'll get like a microphone from my phone and record samples that way, but like, dude, I want to try tape. I have these brand new blank tapes. So that's going to be super fun. And you had one of them? Awesome. Yeah, for sure, dude. Okay, great. Dude, this is like, this fractal is now reminding me of the, I believe the painting is called Godhead. Or, oh no, Net of Being. The Alex Gray painting, Net of Being. That has all those, the infinite fractal heads, like on pillars. inside of these kind of things. I dig this. So let's actually save this as a M3i. And this one will even save as a new version. But yeah, dude, I'm so psyched about that Talkboy. I really hope it's only the battery terminals that are fucked up, and that's all, because I don't really know how to fix electronics, but I can soak battery terminals in vinegar and clean them. Coffee table, he says, I had one at one point, probably took it apart though. Yeah. I'm actually surprised I never took this one apart. Okay, so we have this. Let's try and do some lighting now. We're coming up on 1 hour here. I think that would be a good goal for Mandelbulb Mondays, is to do, like, we'll do 2 hours, or possibly 3, but we'll do one piece per hour. This one I'm going to go over a little bit because the lighting might take slightly longer, but let's play around with it. So let's leave that first lighting on global. That's giving us that overall sort of, almost as if it were a sunlight or just a general light source across the whole thing. And now we're going to go into, I think, some positional light. So yeah, there's a couple ways you can do colors. You can use the lighting, and you can also use the where is it, like underneath the object lighting. You go into here, diffuse and specular light and diffused light. So here you can set your colors by these, but you can also do like a random, and that'll kind of get you to a new place rather quickly, and then you can adjust from there. So let's say we got some colors that we like. We can kind of adjust these, get an overall kind of vibe of how you want your piece to be. You can also unglue the sliders, which means then you can now move them independently. And that way you get an idea of which one is doing which bit of color. Let's random it again. Let's keep randoming. So we kind of get in the ballpark. Like, I tend to like these kind of color schemes. This is like what I would call kiwi strawberry, where it's this nice kind of lime green and this pink. One thing I would like to see in here that I don't think you could do is like a hue rotate. Oh, I'm missing what's going on in chat. I have not seen Home Alone 3. Learn to solder, and you can fix almost any electronics that can be fixed, for sure. Yeah, I know how to solder. I've done like a lot of circuit bending in my time. My thing is, like, I don't know how to actually like fix things like that have gone wrong to make them work as they're supposed to. I know how to like cross wires to make them glitch, but like that's really it. But if it's a basic fix, like fixing a battery terminal, I got that. You want to scrub the terminals with a paste made with baking soda and water. Baking soda is a buffer that will neutralize the acid in the batteries. Vinegar is an acid. Put the paste on and rub it on the terminals with an eraser. Oh, okay. Because I've done the vinegar trick a bunch of times. It's always worked for me. Usually the corrosion's not too bad, but you say it couldn't be as bad as Son of the Mask, though. Oh shit, I've never seen Son of the Mask. And honestly, now looking back on it, The Mask is probably like, it might be one of the weakest Jim Carrey movies. It just says these colors are very cozy / comforting. Okay, cool. Let's go with these colors. I like this too. This one's got a really warm sort of vibe. The ones we did last time were very sort of wintry. And in fact, let me show you what we did last time real quick. This one on the bottom left, this ice road, is what we did last time. And then the one behind it, the main background, is one we did on, I think, the first episode of Mandelbulb Monday. So those are those. And you can get to like a lot of different places. Like this one that looks like a snowscape back in the, it just really looks like a real snowscape to me. So let's jump back over to Mandelbulb. There we go. Javar says, yes, since you cleaned the terminals, you probably wouldn't notice the vinegar, but there would still be an acid left over that you might not notice for years. Probably don't make that much difference, though. Okay, interesting. I didn't know that. I will try that, the baking soda thing. For repairs, finding data sheets and schematics can be the hardest part unless you're talking service mount. Yeah, service mount, like, you can't really work on that, right? I mean, it's like, that's the thing with modern electronics and the things that have the black blob over them, over the chip, you can't really work on shit anymore. That's why I dig all those old Yamaha keyboards from the late 80s. Mostly a matter of pinpointing the problem. Right on, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing, like, I don't know how to do any of that. Like, how to use a multimeter and all that, I have no idea. Okay, so, alright, we're gonna go with these colors. Let's now do some of maybe the ambient lighting. And let's save here too. Because we kind of made a radical change by doing that color. And this is going to be 1.3. Oops. Okay, so let's do the ambient lighting. And this ambient lighting is also sort of a more overall kind of light, kind of like the global light. Ooh, okay. Gives a lot more of a cool feel to it. And also here you can do the position. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong thing here. I'm just doing ambient. And here, the depth, this is the background. So having them both on black will give you a fully black background. If you change, say, this down here, then like the lower part of the sky will have the green to it. It's hard to tell because a lot of it's covered up, but let's just switch that back to black. Work with that for now. Maybe later on we'll bring in some of that when we try to do the fog. That could be kind of cool. You say surface mount is actually easier than through hole if you have the tools. Okay. They're pricey. You have a membership at a makerspace. Oh, very nice. That's awesome. I've always wanted to be part of one of those makerspaces. Okay, so we got our ambient lighting. That's really nice. We got these cool colors going on. I kind of like this as a little bit more of a cool than we had it, because earlier it was maybe a little too pink. But I like these green highlights and everything going on in there. And so let's do the fog now, and then we'll go in and do some more of the positional lights. So with the fog, yeah, it kind of does that. It can get really intense where it doesn't even look like fog anymore. And let's see what color we want to get for it. Maybe more like a seafoam green. Like a yellow green, maybe. Hey. I kind of like how it can almost look like there's electricity or like some sort of aura coming off the thing. And again, here, you can use this to make like really radical changes, which is nice. Maybe for the other color, we'll have it be like a purplish. broccoli. It looks like, what's this stuff? Romanesco, that fractal broccoli. You say, where am I at? I'm in upstate New York. Well, not quite upstate. In the Albany-ish area, near Hudson. On the good old East Coast. You're out west, right? For some reason, I think you might have talked about that on M Stream. Because M is out on the... What is it? Is it Oregon or Washington? Over there somewhere. NorCal, okay. What's it like over there? I mean, I've heard stories about, the big cities like LA. People are leaving LA because of the lockdowns and stuff. But like, what's it like where you are? She's Oregon. Okay, Oregon. Okay, so let's mess around with the fog offset a little bit and the far offset. Hey. Maybe kind of like that. So this will stay more in darkness, as it should, as things get further away. I like that. Maybe just a little bit of that glow to it, because I want to keep that a little bit darker than the rest of it. You say you're in a small city, but that's not bad. It's the fires. Oh yeah. Are those something that only happens like when it's warm out, or like do they happen all year round? Because that looks awful. Like I can't even imagine what it's like, because then you have to breathe in all that air. Like, what do you do? Okay, so let's go to 115 high wind. Okay, so let's do some of these positional lights. So the thing with the lighting is each one of these tabs, you can do one of 3 different kinds of lights. The first one was the default, which we're going to leave for now. And then 2 we had, so let's start here, positional light. So you can turn it on or off. One thing you might want to do to position it properly is to turn it on visible and then hit midpoint, and that'll put your light in wherever it goes. And let's mess with the color now. Maybe this is like a... You can adjust the intensity. That's nice with that light coming out of that area there. And then you can also do the position where it is in space. So right now it's there, but if you do Z position, it moves it away from the camera or towards the camera. And you can see how it's actually in space. So when it's moving closer, the shadows are shifting in relation to it. Let's say dry grass and unkempt foothills. Yes, I would imagine it's just a big tinder mountain. Big kindling ball. Here, like if you want to get this really intense, you just crank up that intensity. Pretty soon you got that. I think in this case, though, let's see. Okay. I like that. Let's turn the intensity down even a little more. And yeah, I think we're going to leave it on visible. So invisible, and then you can have a couple different styles of visible light. Maybe we'll leave it on like 3. And we'll move it slightly over in the X dimension too much. Very nice. Okay, I must use the restroom, y'all. I'll be right back, and then we'll catch up on chat with you. Let's get that hydration check. Okay, let's see what chat is saying here. They say, I had to evacuate in 2018. The campfire was right next to me. Worst fire in the state's history. Wow. There are fires every year. It's a crapshoot. Okay, so it's not really a seasonal thing. And Tavares says, oops, I misspoke. Most batteries are alkaline, so vinegar would neutralize the leak as long as you use the right proportions. Baking soda is a buffer, so it works on both, so the ratio doesn't matter. Okay, nice. Good to know. Say dozens of fires. Some small, some not. Sometimes nearby, sometimes not. Climate change has fucked us, yeah. In the 90s, it was heavy rain and flooding. El Nino. Now it's fire-nados. Is that like Sharknado? But fire? Do you actually get... Are you serious? Or is it just... You're thinking of moving. Move to the East Coast. The Bible didn't even have fire-nados. No, it had... Did it have flaming locusts? Or something of that nature? Okay, so let's look at our lighting here. Let's go on to the next... Let's actually save again. Save M3I. And we'll save this as 1.4. Now's the point where I like to save them as individual, their own thing. High winds and wildfire. It must be an incredible sight to see. I must say that. Okay, so let's look at our next light here. So we did 2, right? Let's do 3. Turn it on, and we'll do positional. And let's see what color we want to have it as. So we got this kind of cool color thing going on, but maybe we want to add some more warm to offset the blue and green and also to complement the magenta kind of thing. It's actually strangely beautiful. Yeah, I would imagine it actually is. It's kind of nature just being like, fuck you, this is my shit. Maybe some orange light would be nice here, I think. So let's go and put the midpoint. Maybe we'll do some stuff back here. Maybe over here. I like that. So let's go. I can't move that. So I think this is going to be an invisible light, but it's going to be kind of intense and coming from off screen. That could be really cool. So maybe we'll move it upward a little bit. And you start to lose it. Okay, so maybe somewhere in there, and then we'll make it maybe a little less intense. Oops. It's really just spiraling wind where there is fire, not like it's a tornado on fire. The tornado isn't destroying your house, the fire is. Okay. Portland sounds nice. Portland, Maine or Portland, Oregon? Okay, so we got this orange light. Maybe it needs to go forward or backward in space a little bit. Let's see. I kind of like that. That makes it a little bit less intense and kind of evens it out. Okay, yeah, so let's go to the next one. We'll do positional again. I'll kind of get a similar orange color. Yeah, this one will be a little bit lighter. Let's value. Lots of Twitch fam up there. Okay. Portland, Oregon. It does sound nice. I heard they grow some really good weed over there. Okay, so let's position this one. We'll turn it on. We'll position it. Maybe now we want to try and balance out the orange that we had over here. So maybe over here in this area. I'm kind of feeling like this. There's going to be orange here, sort of up here, and then maybe a little down here, and I'll give this nice triangle, because right now we've got this. There's sort of a couple major lines here. There's this line that kind of arcs over the whole thing, and there's also like this triangle going on here from all the way to the bottom, almost like a diamond shape actually, like this. Boom, 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 and then the other arc this way. So let's put this light over in, sort of over here. Yeah. Hang on one second, y'all. Gotta get some new ice. Okay, so this one, we want to kind of bring it a little bit further and forward in space, I think. So that would be, yes, Z. Okay, bear with me here. So that's actually, ooh, that's nice too. It's all the way back. Oh wow, look at that. So if you bring it really far forward, that's gonna light up that whole front thing. We don't want to have it be too dark back here, but it needs to have a little bit of contrast from, oops, too much. Okay, somewhere in this area is where we want to be. Hey, M. Lunch finally. How we doing? Doing very well. Feeling pretty good today. Doing the best I can. I hope you're well also. I hope work is not kicking your ass too much. You say, ooh, pretty. Thanks. Coffee says, oh yeah, basically from where I'm at all the way to Washington is dank as fuck. Cool. I kind of feel like this is where the Grinch would live if he had a wife to keep it cute. The Grinch, like these are all the Grinch kidney stones of various colors. Or the inside of an alien spaceship engine. I'm lost. Please tell me what I'm looking at. Well, these are alien kidney stones, of course. Look at them. Look how pointy they are. And then look at this weird shit back here. These look like insect mouths. Remember the tardigrade from last time? This is sort of like that, but not quite. Okay, so, since M is here now, we can save, and we're going to do a hydration check. You're saying, boss is being sweet as butter now that he needs me. Oh, of course. Oh, I still have some coffee left, too. Let's get that coffee check. And, check this out. If you have ever put tea in your coffee, it's really good, and I would suggest using peppermint tea. This one is Harney and Sons. But then you get peppermint coffee. It's fucking great. And yes, these sort of fractals are either very large or very small. The macroscopic or the microscopic, for sure. And maybe they're really the same thing. Yes, peppermint coffee. I'm telling you, try it. Like black coffee with peppermint, maybe a tiny pinch of sugar. It's so nice. If you like peppermint, that is. I love peppermint. Okay, so we got this other light here. Let's mess around with some of the positioning. Here I am just flapping my yap, not doing any lighting. So somewhere in there. Let's see, if you can't move it behind there because then you kind of lose it. Maybe it's just like peeking out a little bit and the intensity is more. And now we can kind of use this to balance out the light we have over here. So we don't want it to be too intense, but like that. I kind of wish I could bring this forward a little more and light up a little bit more of that there, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. Let's see. Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe. And then if we make the intensity more. Like that. And then if we make it invisible, now we just have light, a mysterious light source. Ooh, okay. M says, I'm in a mint and matcha tea today. After my coffee debacle this weekend, I'm leery. Black coffee, stir with a tiny candy cane. Yeah, dude. Candy cane stirs. That's the move right there. I'm going to see where I can get candy canes year-round and do that. Okay, so we got this light here. Maybe let's play around with the intensity a little more. Somewhere in this range is the right amount to kind of balance out what's going on over here. Coffee says, have you seen the comparison of dark matter strings between galaxy clusters and neurons on our brain? Startlingly similar. Yes, for sure. Yeah. The thing about that is, yeah, like they look really similar, but the laws of physics that are responsible for those are so different because of the size. So it's really interesting visually how like things are made the same way visually like that, but they're not necessarily following the same physics, but the scale is so different, so the math is going to be kind of off kilter. But you know what? I'm not a mathematician. I don't know what I'm saying. That's the point. Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Let's save again. We said we were gonna save. Save M3I. This is gonna be 1.5. Let's do some deep breaths, y'all. I always forget to do deep breathing because I'm so involved with what I'm doing. We'll do a stretch. I really have to thank M for that, for the stretching. Thank you, M, for reminding us to stretch all the time, because I always forget like that I'm alive and I have to do things for my body. You're gonna scare me into breathing with noises. Yeah, it's not like they work on the same principles at that scale, but they end up looking the same. Yeah, I mean they do, but they don't. Yeah, and yes, squats make me feel alive. Yes, squats are good. Ooh, scary. Okay, let's do a couple more deep breaths. And honestly, deep breathing is something I really have trouble with because I'm always, like, my whole life just been shallow breathing. So, like, when I do get a nice deep breath, it's like, oh, this is what it's supposed to be like. Okay, so we saved. Let's do some more lighting. And I'm thinking I might, with this light right here, I might end up making that invisible, but we'll see. Let's go to our next light. We got 2 positional lights left, or 2 lighting tabs. And let's do some more of that orange, because I want to get a little bit of that orange flavor going on down here. So we'll go here. We'll make a sort of orangey color. Doesn't have to be exact. Maybe it's a little bit more towards the red. We could play with that, and we'll turn it on. We'll do the midpoint. Oh, I gotta set it on positional. And we'll make it visible so we can see real quick. Do midpoint, and we'll place it down here. Okay, nice. That's what I'm going for. Okay, let's mess with the Z position. Not too much. These sliders can be a little bit difficult to adjust sometimes, I gotta say. Okay, so now let's far forward. I want to be somewhere in this general area, so it's casting light up here, and you can tell that there's like a ridge here, and it's casting light on the underside of that ridge. That's nice. Affects your circulation, apparently. Leads to problems for sure. Wait, what does? Squats? Sedentary lifestyle is deadly. Okay, so we got this. Let's mess with the intensity a little bit. And we'll turn the visibility off for now so we can see. Okay, that's nice. And I even think having that sort of, that hot spot of orange there is okay, because it's balanced by this hot spot up here. And there's also this hot spot here. Let's actually take a look at this from a little bit further away. This is always good to do to get an idea of your composition and balance. I do wish there was a flip horizontal and flip vertical option in here, because that would make it easy to check balance really quick, but what are you going to do? It's Mandelbulb. Okay, so that's looking good. Right, an hour and a half. Okay, we're doing good. Let's take another quick little smoky break. I'll tell you what, I don't need a lot of this indica. It really hits me hard. Just a little bit, not even a full hit, like half a hit and a one hitter. Okay, so we've got our orange light going on in here. Maybe it's a little bit too red. Let's mess around with this. Maybe it needs to be more to the yellow. I kind of like it, yeah, like that. With that little bit more yellow, it kind of blends with that green better and it kind of balances out this spot over here. Now we got one more. So what we might do with one, oh, shallow breathing, I got you, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Always got to remind myself. The thing about breathing for me is like I can do the deep breathing, but I have to like really focus on it a lot, and it's like then I can't do other shit at the same time. Okay, so let's go to. This will be our last light here, and maybe we'll leave this one visible, and we'll put another one to kind of balance it out somewhere in here, and kind of set it back a little bit more, and we'll see how that looks. If that doesn't look right, we'll mess around with it. But okay, so we'll turn this on. We'll get positional. We'll get that similar blue color. We'll set the midpoint with it on visible. And I think that one was also on 3 visible. 3, yes. Okay, we'll set the midpoint. We'll be back here somewhere. It's too intense. We'll turn the intensity down. Maybe somewhere in there. And let's mess with the Z position a bit. Not too much. I want to be somewhere in this area, but not like behind. There's like a critical sweet spot somewhere. Maybe about there. Maybe there, but not as intense. So it does need to be a little bit further to be able to see it correctly. Okay, I actually like that. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, good. Now, does that look correct? I'm not sure. Maybe it kind of needs to be. We see how this one is sort of in the center of this set of 6. Maybe this one is, maybe this set right here is where that one is sitting behind, but it's at a different angle. So maybe it just needs to be a little bit closer to that. Now this is our last light, so I'm trying to figure out what the best sort of placement is. And after that, all we can really do is do some shadows, and we can do some, maybe we can mess with the fog a little more. And I think yeah, we did object, we did ambient. And we could mess with the depth ambient to do the background a little more. Let's get that hydration check. Let's take a look at this for a minute. Actually, I gotta go refill my water. I'll be right back too. Let me know what you think. Do you like the visible lights, or should I make these invisible and just use them as something else? What do you think? Hey, Evil Deadhead, thank you for the resub, brother. I'll be right back. I have to go fill up my water. get that coffee check. Okay, great. Thank you for being here as always. Have fun and don't go too crazy at work. And do your thing. Lurk and work and lurk. How goes it? It goes pretty well. I'm doing all right today. Thank you for asking. How are you today, sir? My hat is on all crooked. Okay, so we got a couple lights to do here. We got to figure out if this light is in the correct sort of position. Now, let's mess around with the X position a little bit. Nope, too much. This is when it gets tough to adjust some of these. I actually like that. That's a nice balance, because there's this major line here that goes directly up to this cluster with the light in the middle, and then it goes over here and down to this major line. So now we have a couple of these. We've got this square shape here, and then we've got this overall sort of, since there's this hot spot here, we have this diamond shape. And then we got these arcs up here and down here. So you're running around cleaning. Put some stuff off. Gotta pick it back up. Glad you're feeling well enough to get back at it. Looking awesome. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I had an appointment with a specialist today, which went really well. And I'm just hoping to be nice and like fully healed up within a couple months. And we think that's a reasonable goal. Okay, so I actually really like where these lights are. I like the intensity. And so now what we have left is the fog we can mess with a little bit to dial that in. But first let's save. We're going to save M3I. This will be a new one, 1.6. And, oh yeah, the shadows too. Let's do that first, and then we'll come back to the fog. So if we go to post-process, let's do the ambient shadows and the hard shadows. And this is definitely a good time to save before you do these, because there's some things that happen in here that get a little funky, and you can't quite get back to where you were. And it doesn't necessarily work in an intuitive way, and I'm not totally sure how it works yet, but so let's figure out which lights we got here that we want to make hard shadows. So definitely, you know what, let's just try all of them and see what we get. And this can kind of radically change the whole deal. It might take a minute to calculate out too. Looks gangsta, yeah. I like how you can see as it's rendering the change that's happening. So right off the bat, I'm thinking this might be putting too much up here, but we'll see. Oh yeah, you see how some of these, it really brings out a lot of the details. But now I feel like maybe it's making this all too bright back here. But, you know, we could save a couple different versions anyway. I'm just taking out a lot of these whiter colored highlights in here, but like really light pink into white. Getting a little bit more blue now. Cool, I like this too. So we're going to save this version, but I think then we'll go back to the previous version and try out maybe unticking some of those light boxes. So we're going to save M3I. can open the one. Six. Okay, it's gonna be that. And okay, so yeah, you can immediately see the difference. Now let's try let's see which lights are which here. So one is let's actually not do one. Because that's the more general kind of light, the global light. And then the rest are all positional. So let's do, our blue ones in here are 2 and 6. Let's try those. What if we just do 2 and 6? This part can get a little bit time consuming making these changes because it does take a minute to calculate. But this is how we learn to have patience with things. So let's do some more stretch and we'll do some more deep breathing. This one is not doing, it's not doing too much because we're only using these 2 lights, but okay, so that's it. So let's bring 1 back in, and then the other 3 are 3, 4, and 5, which are the orange. Let's try that. Hey Mario, how you doing, man? I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, but it's time for me to get back at it. I can't just sit around. Even if I'm in pain, I'll deal with it and just, because I can't just not be creative. So it is good to be back. And I think we're going to do it'll be a 2-hour stream today. This will be our piece for the day. So we've got about 15 minutes left, but I'm glad you stopped by, man. Well, I had surgery like 3.5 months ago, and I'm still having a little bit of residual pain from it. And I'm dealing with it in a couple different ways, but I feel now that I need to start doing something again, no matter what. So, like, thanks, Mario. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm doing the best I can. I have some really strong weed, some indica that helps with the pain, and I'm using ice. So I'll get there. It's just gonna take some time. I saw a specialist about it today. Seth says we're gonna go right and finish out the day at work. Right on, dude. Thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate you. I love you, and I hope you're having a great rest of your day. That's the spirit. Yeah, okay, so this is finished the lighting rendering. Let's see. I do like that. Let's save that as a version. I'm going to save M3I. So what have you been working on, Mario? You still doing music? Have you had time to work on it with your job and everything? I don't know if I've seen you on stream very much recently either. This is going to be 1.8. Hey, Chumslick. Welcome, sir. Good to see you. Yep, I'm doing the best I can. And we're here doing Mandelbulbs again. I think we're on episode 4 now. And just bear with me, I'm very high. Okay, so... Okay, what are we doing? Lighting. Okay, so let's go back to our shadows. And let's look at the ambient shadow. Actually, I think, you know what? What about depth of field? To tell you the truth, this depth of field thing is one thing I've never really messed around with. I don't know if I want to get too deep into it on stream. Mario says, yeah, I was in a holiday break during the season, and I'm back at it on a regular schedule every Tuesday at 7. Okay, great. 7 MET. Okay, I gotta figure out what the time is here for EST. Tuesday at 7 MET. I'm gonna write that down. Tomorrow you're on for the second time this year. Welcome. Actually, yeah, great. So this is my first time on this year. So great. I'm glad everyone is going back to doing the things that we do normally. And hopefully soon the entire world can do the same. Okay, so... Yeah, I don't think I want to necessarily go into the depth of field on this right now, but let's go back into the lighting here, and we'll mess with the fog a little more. Kind of like that. Maybe the colors are a little bit wrong. Whoa, that's pretty cool too, though. A little too radical for this, though. Kind of like that, too. And again, you can see how there's these weird, like, trails coming off of it. I really love those effects. 11 a.m. for me. Okay. So Tuesday at 11 a.m. I can do that. I think because if we look in the navigator here, the far plane is not very far away. That's why the fog is not having as much of an effect as it might. I'm not able to get the same kind of depth. Maybe we'll go with, you know what? Kind of bring it back to where it was originally. I like that. Maybe it doesn't need all the crazy fog effects. stuff. Okay, so what else do we have? We used all the lighting tabs. We used the post-process, ambient and hard shadows. Didn't do any depth of field. I think this is another thing I haven't messed with too, really, just the reflections and transparency. I know I've seen people use this to make it look like glass or to make it like give it different textures. Not totally, yeah, I'm not very familiar with it. I'll have to look at that off stream and come back. Maybe we'll look into that for next week. I don't know, I think we might have a finished piece here. I'm pretty happy with how the composition looks. I might bring it into Procreate and do some stuff with this space back here. Maybe do like some stars. Maybe we'll just try one thing, which will be, I'm going to turn off these two lights here and make them invisible. Or not turn them off, but just turn them to invisible, so we don't actually see the source. So that'll be lighting. That was 2 and 6, I believe. And actually, let's just see what they look like with them off. It's kind of nice too, but I like them better with them on. And they're on 3. What if we put them on 0? Maybe just have 1. Or both. I don't like it with them on. Either both on or both off. Oops, that was the wrong one. And you know what? Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Because on global light, you don't get a visible or non-visible. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I think that's a finished piece, y'all. I'm gonna save it again. You know what's weird? Oh no, that's correct. I just need to render it at a bigger size, but I'll save it as this for now. Even though this one is probably exactly the same as, or very close to the last save. Okay. Yeah, this bulb is sick. Thanks, man. Mario says, oh, I really like that one. It looks awesome. Thank you, Mario. So yeah, this is our bulb for the day. This is our Mandelbulb. And this is what it looked like, sort of what it looked like before we started coloring it. But what we can do, we can actually grab the light and all that. It'll be a low res, not as good version, but that's what it sort of looks like. We could even... This is when it gets weird, because if you try to like fly around, now that the light is already in place, when you come back, ascend to the main, the lights stay where they were, but everything else rotated. And while this is going, let's see who we're going to raid today. Oh, and thank you to Devil's Devotee, or Nonchalant Nonsense. Just followed on Instagram. I'm assuming that's someone who's watching in here right now, so thank you. Let's see who's on that we can raid. And we're also going to see what this weird... oh, actually, you know what? It rotated the lights. I didn't think it did that. Okay, interesting. Maybe the lights don't work how I thought they worked. Oh, OhmLab is on. Okay, I think we're going to raid OhmLab. Or Friendin. We raided Friendin one time already. I want to raid OhmLab. That would be really cool. If you're not familiar with OhmLab, OhmLab does a lot of sound design. And I think everyone in here will be kind of interested in that. I think Mario knows about OhmLab. So yeah, now we have this kind of deal. It's this really just a rotated version of the same thing, but from a different angle. And it's also very nice. I like it. Maybe we'll even save that. We'll finish off the rest of our coffee. Yeah, OhmLab is great. Great sound designer, for sure. Like absolute top tier sound designer. Okay, so yeah, I think that's going to be it for today, y'all. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me for this first return stream. I appreciate you. I love you. And let's do the raid thing. And we're on our way. Let's go in there and spam some emotes. Say what's up. Thanks for stopping by, chum. Thanks, Mario. And I'll see you on the other side, y'all.